I gave up 6 years of my life so she could chase her dreams. I worked double shifts. I believed every word she said. Then, on our anniversary, I walked into her office building, and security told me only the CEO's authorized guests could go upstairs. The CEO was my wife. If you've ever trusted someone completely and been proven wrong, stay till the end, because karma in this story doesn't miss. Hit subscribe, drop a like and comment must, and let's get into it. My name is Daniel Voss, and for 6 years, I thought I knew exactly what kind of life I was building. I'm a mechanic. Simple work, honest work. I fix what's broken, and I go home tired but proud. That's who I was when I met Talia. We were both broke back then. I mean, really broke. She was finishing business school, surviving on coffee and ramen, and I was pulling double shifts just to keep my own head above water. But something about her pulled me in. Maybe it was the way she talked about her future, like she could already see it. I believed her. I believed in her. So when her tuition came up short that one semester, I didn't even think twice. I emptied almost everything I'd saved. Didn't need her to know how much it actually was. Didn't need her to know. I just wanted her to keep going, keep climbing. As watching her chase something bigger than both of us, it gave me a kind of pride I can't really explain. We got married a year later. Small wedding, no fancy venue, no big guest list, just the people who actually mattered, and a promise that whatever came next, we'd build it together. And for a while, that's exactly what it felt like. I never needed credit for what I gave up. The extra shifts, the savings, the plans I quietly set aside for myself, none of that mattered to me. I just needed her to be happy. I needed us to be okay. Looking back now, I think that was the last version of us I really understood. Everything after that started changing in ways I couldn't see yet. It started small. So small I didn't even notice it as a pattern. I just noticed it as a Tuesday, then a Thursday, and suddenly it was every day. Talia landed a job at North Peak Robotics, this fast-growing tech company everybody in town was talking about, and I was happy for her. Genuinely happy. But happy turned into hours. The hours turned into late nights. The late nights turned into trips I'd hear about after she'd already booked the flight. It's just crazy right now. Things are just a lot. And I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She'd never given me a reason not to. But looking back, there were cracks. Little ones. A new bag she said was on clearance. A bonus she mentioned once and never again. Her phone face down on the counter, buzzing at hours that didn't make sense for a regular 9 to 5. I told myself I was being paranoid. I told myself a man who trusts his wife doesn't go looking for problems that aren't there. So I didn't look. I just adjusted. I learned to eat dinner alone without making it weird. I learned to fall asleep before she got home and wake up after she'd already left. She always told me she was just under a lot of pressure. And because I loved her, because 6 years of marriage teaches you to trust the person lying next to you, I believed every word. I didn't know it then, but that was the version of me she was counting on. The version who didn't ask questions, the version who just believed. Every excuse had a crack in it. I just wasn't looking for cracks back then. Our anniversary fell on a Thursday, 6 years. I wanted to do something different that year, something real. So I picked up flowers on my way from the shop, got us a lunch reservation at the place she loved, and decided I was finally going to surprise her at work. I'd never actually been to her office, not once. She always said it was just a boring building, nothing worth the drive. But that day, I wanted to see where she spent all those hours she wasn't spending with me. The North Peak building was bigger than I expected. Glass everywhere, polished floors, the kind of place that makes a guy in work boots feel a little out of place. I walked up to the front desk, flowers in hand, and told the security guard I was there to surprise my wife. He asked her name. I told him. He typed it in, paused, and said, "I'm sorry, sir. Only authorized personnel can meet the CEO without an appointment." I laughed. I actually laughed. No, there's a mix-up. My wife works here. She's not the CEO. He looked at me for a second too long. Then he turned the monitor toward me. And there she was, Talia, standing beside two men I didn't recognize, smiling outside an office door with her name on it, CEO. I don't know how long I stood there. The flowers just hung in my hand like they didn't belong there anymore. It was her, standing in a world I didn't even know existed, a world she built without me. That night, I didn't confront her. I just sat with it. I needed to understand before I could even speak. I started quietly going through things I never thought to look at before. Old mail, bank statements tucked in a drawer, a second phone I found charging behind her nightstand, like it was hiding on purpose. At her office, before I left that day, a woman named Claire Donovan, her assistant I'd later learn, caught up with me in the parking lot. She recognized me from a photo on Talia's desk. She looked guilty, like she'd been carrying something heavy for a long time. She didn't say much, just enough. "She's been CEO over a year," Claire said quietly. "I'm sorry you found out like this." A year. Over a year of dinners, of phone calls, of just a lot of pressure. And the entire time she was someone else. Then came the bank statements, money moving into an account under her maiden name, money I never knew existed. And then a name, Victor Calloway, co-founder, on every call, every trip, every photo beside her. I didn't want to believe it. But every piece I found was a piece I couldn't put back where it came from. I wasn't looking for a fight that night. I was just looking for the truth. I just didn't know yet how much of it I could actually survive. I waited for her on the couch that night, everything laid out on the coffee table, the statements, the second phone, Claire's words still echoing in my head. When Talia walked in, she saw it all before I said a word. Her face just dropped. "Daniel, I can explain." "Then explain," I said. "Start with why I had to find out from a security guard." She tried the soft version first, said it just happened, said she didn't know how to tell me. But when I said Victor's name, she went quiet. That kind of quiet that confirms more than any answer could. "Are you sleeping with him?" She didn't say no. I felt something break in my chest, something I didn't even know was still whole until that second. 6 years, I said, my voice barely holding together. "You gave me 6 years of my life, and you couldn't give me 6 minutes of the truth." That's when she snapped, not with guilt, but with anger, like I was the problem for finding out. She slapped me hard and screamed that I had no right to spy on her. I just stood there. I didn't slap back. I didn't yell. I just looked at her, this woman I built a life around, and realized I didn't know her at all. I picked up my keys and walked out, not in rage, in something quieter, something that felt a lot more like grief. I stayed at Felix's place for the next few nights. Didn't eat much, didn't talk much either. Just sat on his couch, staring at nothing, replaying 6 years like I was looking for the exact moment it all went wrong. Felix didn't try to fix it. He just kept showing up. Coffee in the morning, quiet company at night. One evening he finally said, "Don't do anything stupid, man. Get a lawyer. Don't get revenge." I wasn't even thinking about revenge yet. I was just trying to remember how to breathe normal again. A few days in, I got a call from Talia's mother, Carol Bryant. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "I'm sorry, Daniel," she said, quiet, careful. I always knew this day would come. I sat with that for a second. "You knew about all of it?" She didn't answer right away. That silence told me everything her words didn't. Even her own mother had been carrying this secret longer than I'd known my wife was lying to me. That night, lying on Felix's pull-out couch, staring at the ceiling, I didn't feel angry anymore. I just felt empty, like the last 6 years had happened to a different version of me, one who believed every excuse, every "I'm just under pressure," every soft lie wrapped in love. I wasn't the same man who walked into that office with flowers. I just didn't know yet who I was becoming instead. A few days later, something in me shifted. I wasn't angry the way I'd been angry that first night. I was clear in a way grief eventually makes you if you let it. I didn't want revenge, I told Felix one morning. I just wanted the truth out in the open. But now that I have it, I think the truth might be the most dangerous thing I'm holding. I hired a lawyer, René Castillo, recommended by a guy at the shop who'd gone through his own ugly divorce. René was sharp, no nonsense, exactly what I needed. She looked through everything I'd found, the accounts, the second phone, Victor's name on every trip, and got quiet for a second. "Daniel, this isn't just a marriage problem. If Talia's been moving company funds into a personal account tied to a relationship with a co-founder, that's not just betrayal. That could be fraud." I hadn't even thought of it that way. Then Claire reached out again, quietly, carefully. She said she'd been wanting to come forward for a while, but never had the courage, not until she saw my face in that lobby. She handed René a small drive of documentation, protected, she said, as a whistleblower. I wasn't trying to burn anything down. I just stopped trying to protect something that was never built to protect me back. The truth was already moving. I just had to let it. The evidence reached North Peak's board within a week. Misused funds, a conflict of interest with Victor that violated half the company's own ethics policy. René said the board moved faster than she expected. Within days, Talia was suspended pending a full investigation. I found out from the news, actually, not from her. A short article, North Peak CEO steps down amid internal investigation. No big headline, just enough to confirm everything René had been building toward. Victor distanced himself almost immediately, released some careful statement about personal matters separate from company operations, like 6 months of trips and late-night calls were nothing, like he hadn't been right there beside her in every photo. He protected his title and let her take the fall alone. That told me everything I needed to know about what their relationship actually was. A few days after that, Talia called me. Her voice was different, smaller, cracked in places I'd never heard before. She admitted everything, the affair, the hidden life, said she was scared that if I knew who she'd really become, I wouldn't accept her anymore. I let her finish, and then I said the only thing that felt true. "You didn't lose me because I found out who you became. You lost me because you never let me know you at all." She didn't have a response for that. There wasn't one. I hung up, and for the first time in weeks, I felt something close to peace. The divorce settled a few months later, with everything René uncovered, the hidden accounts, the documentation Claire provided. I walked away with a fair share. Not out of spite, just out of what was actually owed to me. I used part of it to do something I'd quietly given up on years ago. Felix and I opened our own shop. Small place, just the two of us at first, but it was mine. Something I built, instead of something I just supported. Talia lost the company, lost Victor, who disappeared the moment things got hard, lost the marriage she never really let me be part of, 3 lives she tried to keep separate, and in the end, she was left holding none of them. I didn't destroy her life, I just stopped holding it together for her. The rest, she did all on her own. Some evenings, I still stand outside the shop after closing, just looking at the sign with my name on it, and I think about how close I came to spending the rest of my life believing a lie. I'm just grateful I finally know the truth, even if it cost me everything I thought I had.
If you have ever given everything to someone who gave you nothing real back, I hope this reminded you that the truth always finds its way out. If this story hit home, hit that like button, subscribe for more real stories like this one, and tell me in the comments what would you have done in my place.